In the last episode of the Sabang to Merauke journey, I started the Banggai adventure in Banggai Kepulauan, visiting its beautiful attractions like Danau Paisupok and Banggai Beach. And in today's episode, the adventure continues to Banggai Laut, where my crew and I set out to explore some of its unique attractions before making our way to one of Banggai's more remote islands, Mbuang Mbuang, where we have a blast as we learn about their unique way of life and explore the island's hidden treasures. Selamat pagi guys. It is 20 minutes past 7 and we are on our way to what's called Tobing Harbor, where we will be picked up with a speedboat to go to a very famous beach here in Banggai. And I'm here with my tour guide Anto.
Selamat pagi.
And our driver today, Makbul.
Selamat pagi, Mister.
So we have around an hour's drive to get to the port, and then we actually only have 20-25 minutes with the speedboat. So it's gonna be another beautiful day here in Banggai. Let's go. Alright guys, it is 10 minutes past 8 and we have arrived here at Tobing Port. Just met the captain and paid our driver Makbul 250,000 to take us 1 hour here to the port. So the captain says it's only 10 minutes to the beach, so we will see. But Indonesians and time, yeah, sometimes 10 minutes can be 30 minutes, sometimes 1 hour can be 3 hours, so let's see. And here's our speedboat. Okay, yes. Anto, are you ready?
Ready.
Good.
Gas.
Yes. Yuk, see you bro. Siapa namanya bro?
Fahri.
Hah? Fahri.
Yeah.
Salam kenal, saya Kris. We then left Banggai Kepulauan behind and sailed into Banggai Laut. We passed several of these small villages that are built on poles by the water, as there are still many Bajuk people, the sea nomads, living in Banggai Laut. But what we were looking for that day was one of the best beaches in all of Banggai, and it only took around 20 minutes from Tobing Port, and we had then arrived at the famous Pantai Oyama. Alright guys, we have made it to Pantai Oyama, and it almost looks like that beach from the movie The Beach. There's a few locals here, but yeah, no sunbeds, not a ton of tourists, tanning, just the beach. Wah, mandi dulu. Okay. The water's not even super hot, it's nice and cold. Selamat pagi! But don't take my word for it. Let's bring the GoPro underwater and let me show you just how clear it is. It doesn't just look clear from above. It is crystal clear once you get under the surface. No trash, just fine white sand.
Hati-hati di jalan, hati-hati di laut.
TTDL.
Hati-hati di laut. Abang.
So if a tropical beach is what you're looking for, I would highly recommend visiting Pantai Oyama.
So guys, we're about to continue, and I was just looking for Anto, and then, well, here he is. Oh, hati-hati bro. Safe to say that is a tour guide that goes above and beyond.
We then left Pantai Oyama and set course for our stay for the night, which was only 15 minutes away.
Alright, guys, we have come to Bonebaru. That's actually the small village where we will be spending the night. Most people that come here to Banggai Laut, they will go to Banggai City and stay there. But here in Bonebaru, there is a famous place called Kia's Homestay. The rest of this trip is gonna be homestays, no air condition, and local living. Yes. Gimana, Pak Roy, aman? Aman. I'm getting a lot of help with all my camera gear. And the thing is, we cannot go anywhere else for the rest of the day with the boat because the tide is so low now. So yeah, the speedboat isn't going anywhere. Let's find the homestay. Okay. Makasih ya. Selamat siang.
We then met with the owner's husband, as the owner, Ibu Neni, was currently out traveling, and it turned out to be just upstairs. The view here is better than any hotel, and they have 4 rooms here. Each room has a fan, and it costs 350,000 rupiah, or $22 per night, meals included. And before it was lunchtime, I set up the drone to see how the area looked from above, and I played a bit with the local kids, flying the drone up and down the beach as they tried to catch it. For lunch, they served us some fried fish, tofu in chili sauce, sautéed vegetables, and watermelon for dessert. Whenever I start a new trip like this with a new crew, they will always be a bit shy in the beginning and overly polite. So I'll try and be even more polite and joke a bit with them until they soften up.
Sudah coba kucing goreng? Belum? Oh, enak sekali. Nggak, saya belum pernah. Mungkin mereka jadi senang kalau
Anto and I then discussed the upcoming days a bit, and we had an idea for the afternoon. But first, we had to get in the water, because right out in front of this homestay, you can find a unique species that are endemic to Banggai. There are a lot of coral and variety of fish to see when snorkeling here. And if you look closely, you can most likely find the endemic Banggai cardinal. You can often find them near the tentacles of the sea anemones or hiding among the spines of sea urchins to protect themselves from predators. As they have become popular among aquarium hobbyists, they are now considered a threatened species.
So guys, before we went on this trip, Anto, he asked me if he should bring a little bit of homemade alcohol. Here they call it cap tikus. So I told him yes. So now we're gonna have a little bit of that and just simply sit here and enjoy the view. But let's see how it looks when the other guys they try it, because it's quite strong.
Oke, silakan tes. Ya, tos. Gimana?
Mantap.
Keras?
Keras.
Enak ya.
Smooth.
Smooth.
Enak. Enak. So it's bisa rasa sih. So it's a little bit stronger than tuak. It's kind of in between tuak and arak. Arak is the very strong 45% Indonesian alcohol, while tuak is the palm wine that's around 20-25. I'm guessing this one is maybe 25 only, but pretty good taste. Makasih ya bro. Alright guys, it is 3:30 and now we are taking 2 scooters and we're gonna go to Banggai City, and there we will buy some supplies that we're gonna bring on our next part of the journey. So let's go. Gaspol.
After 20 minutes on the bikes, we had arrived at Banggai City, where a goat was casually being skinned right on the main street.
Alright, Anto and I have now bought some snacks and we have bought berapa kilo beras bro? 20 kilo beras. And hopefully the people we will meet later on will be happy that we are transporting 20 kilos of rice all the way to the place we're going. Okay, cari popes? Cari popes. Okay.
We then drove to the center of the city, where you can buy a variety of snacks on the street, and my favorite drink, popes, flavored milkshake powder mixed with water. And for just 10,000 rupiah, or 65 US cent, you can get a platter of fried bananas, cassava, tofu, and chili sauce. And it is crunchy and delicious.
I think there's more sugar in this than one Coca-Cola can.
We then headed back to Kia's homestay to enjoy the afternoon view and get some dinner.
Alright guys, it is now 8 o'clock. It's been a long day, but it's been a really good day. So we have actually just this afternoon discussed extending the trip a little bit, because I found a place on Google Maps that looks really interesting. Really remote place, really small island, but we have to see if we can buy more gasoline first. So. But let's see. And tomorrow morning we leave from here at 7 o'clock to go to an even more remote island where they're supposedly very, very beautiful. And now we have gotten our dinner. We got some grilled fish, we got some vegetables, fried corn as well, and rice and sambal. It looks really good and starving. So, makan dulu.
Makan.
Selamat makan.
Selamat makan.
Oh, karaoke. Nanti Fahri ke sana cari cewek ya.
And to the static sound of the fan, I was on my mattress at 9 o'clock. As Captain Roy said, we needed to depart early before the low tide came in.
Selamat pagi guys. It is 20 minutes past 5 and the sun is slowly starting to rise because of the tide we have to leave from here at 6 o'clock because otherwise the speedboat cannot go out in 1.5 hours-ish. It'll be stuck in the sand on the bottom of the sea here if we don't leave. So yeah, early departure this morning, and I'm just up having my morning coffee. We have 2.5 to 3 hours in the speedboat to a place called Mbuang Mbuang today. An island in the very end of Banggai Laut. And there we're gonna find a homestay, live close to the locals, and see how they live their life out there. So it's gonna be a good day.
We then said our goodbyes after a great stay and got back on the water with a beautiful morning view. We all seemed to be in a fantastic mood as Captain Roy blasted Indonesian techno over the speakers. And it was a fantastic ride as we were gliding over the calm and mirror smooth water. It almost felt like we were sailing on a lake, because from October to December the conditions here are perfect. But keep in mind that from May to September, the waves get really big here, and making a trip like this in a speedboat can be dangerous. Since we would be covering long distances the next couple of days, we needed a lot of fuel, and for that, including speedboat rental and staff, I would be paying 7 million rupiah, or roughly $450. And after exactly 3 hours on the water, we had arrived at our next destination called Mbuang Mbuang. But before finding our homestay, we went to our first attraction, because here they have what's called a jellyfish lake, something I had previously seen in Maratua, East Kalimantan as well. But this visit would turn out to be quite different.
So we have made it to our first stop today, which is called Paisu Patongan Jellyfish Lake. Yes, because just like in Maratua and in Tambori, here in Banggai they also have a jellyfish lake. And I decided not to visit the one in Tambori, but I actually regret it a little bit. So today we're visiting one again, and we will see how many jellyfish there is here compared to the one in Maratua. The thing about these jellyfish is they actually come more up to the top when the sun is not out, and then they go deeper into the lake when it's really, really hot outside. So we will have to swim a bit deeper to find them.
But our local guide Anton said that whenever Anto visits, he always brings good luck. So there were many. Even though they have tentacles, they don't sting, so you can touch them. And here you will find 2 different kinds. You just have to be gentle as you swim, as they are literally everywhere. The trapped seawater, diluted with rain and groundwater, creates a unique habitat free from predators, which has allowed these jellyfish to evolve in peace.
almost wanted to skip this jellyfish lake as well, like I skipped the one in Sombori, but luckily I didn't, because I have never seen that many jellyfish before. That was incredible. There's probably five or 10 times as many jellyfish here as I saw in Maratua. So Anto and Anton also says that we are extremely lucky today. It's not all the times there are this many, but at least we know that it is possible to see thousands of stinglish jellyfish here. What a great visit. Whew.
And after that breathtaking experience, we headed over to the village in Mbuang Mbuang to find our homestay.
So Anton here, our local guide, he is actually my subscriber. So he was very happy to see me when we arrived, and he has told all his friends here in the village that the viral guy from Wakatobi is coming to visit. Anton, asli sini?
Ya.
Ya?
Ya.
Berapa penduduk ada sini? Berapa orang?
100 lebih orang.
100 lebih orang.
Iya.
100 orang lebih atau 100 kakak?
Ya, 100 kakak.
Ah, okay. 100 families. What we can hear now is the Friday prayer.
Even though I had brought Anto as my guide, we also hired Anton, who is a local guide from Mbuang Mbuang, and his price is 200,000 rupiah, or $13 per day. Here there are only homestays where you live with a local family, and this homestay had a unique kind of pet, a great-billed parrot. All homestays here are priced the same to avoid competition, 75,000 rupiah or $5 per person. So after meeting my lovely host family, Ibu showed me to my room.
It is a nice and spacious room, and it is actually not too hot in here. First Popes, and then I will give you guys a tour.
Ibu then made us some cold and sugary pop-s drinks. And we all sat down on their small wooden hangout platform to talk a bit with Anton about the things we wanted to explore here. He's one of those guys that will laugh at any joke you tell him. Anton then said that we had to go to a restaurant to get our lunch, and I was surprised to hear that they even had one here. But it's slightly different from a normal restaurant. It's just inside a private house where they have a small kitchen in the back, and you can sit on a bamboo floor right next to the ocean. And there, the lovely Ibus had cooked us a lot of fresh fish, clams, and fried vegetables. And the price there is 30,000 rupiah, or $2 per person.
Oh guys, this is absolutely perfect. We just finished having our lunch, and we had some coffee, a little chat, and now we're all just in food coma after eating a ton of clams, which they have a lot of here. And that was really good, mixed with some spices, some chili. And in the afternoon, we're gonna go out and we're gonna try and find some of the very big clams they have here. So now I'm just laying here on the floor, enjoying the breeze of the ocean coming in through the door here, and listening to the guys talk. And I think in about 5 minutes, I will pass out and have a nap. So we'll see you guys later.
And after a glorious nap on the bamboo floor, I chatted a bit with Anton and our homestay owner, and they told me that most people here catch octopus for a living, which they can sell for 50,000 rupiah, or $3 per kilo, to the larger islands. Previously here in Banggai, many fishermen would use homemade bombs but it's illegal and rarely seen here anymore. But a couple of locals from a nearby island then told me that there are still some people that use a rather dangerous method to catch the fish hiding in the deep. Something I would get to see later on.
It has been a fantastic afternoon. And now we are going out to do a bit of snorkeling because this place is famous for having a Kima Park. So they have 80 or 90 of these massive clams that we are going out to have a look at now. And they're actually gathering them from several places and bringing them here to make, a Kima Park, a clam park. So I haven't seen these massive clams before, but this area is quite famous for it, so we gotta check it out. I'm really settling into the island life, the island vibes, by just being here and taking a nap in the middle of the day, spending a couple of hours just sitting and chatting, not looking at my phone at all. It's fantastic. Yeah.
I didn't bring a mask, but if you need one, Anton rents out masks for 100,000 rupiah or $6 per day. Beneath the clear waters of Mbuang Mbuang lies one of nature's gentle giants, the Kima, also known as giant clam. These fascinating creatures can live for a century. They feed by filtering tiny plankton from the water and drawing energy from sunlight with a special algae in their flesh. It glows with vibrant greens, blue and purple colors. And they can grow to become over a meter wide. They are anchored in one place unless moved, which I imagine must be a bit boring sometimes. Anyway, the Mbuang Mbuang House Reef is a beautiful sight and a great place to go for a snorkeling adventure.
Second time I'm in the ocean in one day, and it just does something to your mood. Or maybe it's just the kampung feeling.
Mandi.
Oh, mau mandi? Okay. Saya pikir topi.
No.
Okay. See you later. Such a nice guy, Pantan. So during the rain season, the people here from the village, they can get all the water they need here from this well. But if it's a dry season and it hasn't rained in a long time, then the well dries up pretty much, and there will only be very little water in it, and it's very salty. And then they have to buy water from Banggai and bring it here to shower, to cooking, and so on. But now the well is full. Kamu ambil semua. Wah, berat. Oh, that's good.
In the afternoon, Anton brought me to a special place where you can sit and enjoy as the sun slowly sets over Mbuang Mbuang. We then went back to our small resto, where the menu was the same as lunch. We were getting plenty of calories from all the oil in the fried food those days. But Anto had a great tip for how we could consume even more.
Anto bikin minuman apa?
Saya buat minuman racikan biar trip selanjutnya badan tetap fit. Nah, racikan saya itu hanya ini dengan susu enak saset dan just juice rasa jeruk. Jadi diseduh sama-sama barengan, kemudian pakai es batu, air es. Kita ambil sendok, kemudian dicampur, diaduk-aduk. Kita tes dulu. Wah. Ingat satu kata dari saya, jangan lupa bahagia. Makan.
Silakan bos. Duluan. Ya, silakan. Saya bisa bantu.
Tikus sih.
Di sini ya Pak. Ya, silakan Pak. Oke. Tambah Pak. Oh, lapar sekali kan? Mau lagi?
It looks great with all those plates, but as they aren't passed around in a circle, it can be a bit challenging. It had been a great first day in Mbuang Mbuang, and at 9 o'clock I went to bed, as I knew that in villages like this we wake up early to the sound of the rooster. But my teammates stayed up a little bit longer.
Selamat pagi guys. It is 6 o'clock and I've slept so well. A little bit hot though. It wasn't the biggest fan, but just waking up, hearing the sound of the chickens. Anto just came by my room. I was like, Chris, coffee time. So he already went over to the little restaurant that we ate at yesterday. Now I'm on my way there to get some coffee, some eggs, some rice. And then there's a really beautiful spot just 10-15 minutes from here in the speedboat. So I think we will head there as the first thing today. I just met Banggai and bro Fahri, my captain and his assistant, and they went to bed at 2:30 last night because they were just sitting out on the small pier here and talking all night. So they've gotten a solid 3 hours of sleep. Let's go and say good morning to the guys and let's get the day started. Assalamualaikum.
Selamat pagi, Chris.
Selamat pagi, bosku.
Considering the guys' lack of sleep, they seem to be in good spirit. Nothing a hot cup of coffee couldn't fix.
It's such a nice beginning here in the morning. Sitting right here in the door opening, listening to the sound of the ocean, chatting a bit with the guys, telling stories about yesterday. And now the Ibus, they have cooked some fried rice, egg, fried noodle, rice. Normally I don't eat sarapan at 6:30, but here, yeah, we wake up with the sun. And I kind of like that. So we just found out that it's actually Ibu's birthday, the kind woman who is cooking for us here every day. And she really likes smoking Sampurna cigarettes. So I'm gonna give her a small birthday surprise.
Ibu Yati,
Ada ini selamat ulang tahun.
ada rokok.
Ada rokok.
Silakan ambil.
Ambil sendiri saya.
Ih, astagfirullah, ya Allah. Terima kasih.
Sama-sama Bu. Selamat ulang tahun ya. Nanti bisa beli banyak Sempurna. Oh ya Bang Roy, ulang
Bang Roy ulang tahun. Selamat ulang tahun Bang Roy.
Ulang tahun juga.
Silakan, ada banyak nasi. Even at 7:30 in the morning, it is so hot here. Luckily, there's a little bit of a wind. If not, it's nearly too much. But there's just something so nice about walking around in shorts and flip-flops all the time. You constantly get a little bit of sun, and now we're going out to swim again in the ocean. It is making me happy. Senang bro.
Senang.
Fahri, senang.
We then set out to visit the next attraction in Mbuang Mbuang. This place is called Liang Tadul. It's a tiny passage that just allows the body of the speedboat to pass by. As it lies hidden in between the hills, the water is perfectly still. But what makes this place unique isn't just the view, it's the current. Because the current here is so strong that you don't even need to swim. You can simply relax and enjoy the view of the coral and the fish as you pass by them.
This is so cool. We are just drifting all along this long kind of lagoon that goes into the ocean, and you can drift here for kilometers. We just asked the guys to just go ahead and sail out to the ocean, and Anto and I, we've been drifting now for maybe 20-25 minutes. So if you want, you could bring like inflatable rings, or you could even bring a paddleboard. Maybe the paddleboard would be a little bit difficult, but it's so nice. It's kind of like a drift dive, but this is the first time I'm trying a snorkel drift. A drift snorkel. Gimana bro? Keren kan?
Okay, keren.
Yeah.
Strong current.
Yeah.
Diving.
Alright, we better get back to the guys. And it is 9 o'clock in the morning.
We then headed back to the village. But on our way, we saw something that looked a bit weird. A small unmanned wooden boat floating around on its own, with a tube going down underwater. The guys told me there are still locals here who deep dive using a compressor as their source of air. But this is considered an ancient and dangerous way of diving, as it can make you deaf, stroke, or even kill you. So I told the guys I had to meet this diver once he got back up again. In the meantime, we took a break from the scorching heat and sat down for a bit of lunch.
Alright guys, and now it is 12:15. We just finished our makan siang, and now it's time for a small nap. Enak, ada angin dari bawah. Seperti AC alam.
In the afternoon, we went to the other side of the village. Some were attending scouts. A papa was building a new house. Some kids were playing football. And others were just hanging out and enjoying the afternoon. I then met up with a 42-year-old Pa Arman, who we saw diving earlier. He was only 13 years old when he was first hired to find lobsters for a large international fishing company. Today, he runs his own business with his wife, mainly looking for octopus and lobsters. and he told me a bit about his story, the glory days, and the dangers of diving with a compressor.
Karena kemarin itu kakak yang panggil, sudah diving sama kompresor. Kakak yang ajarin ikut diving pakai kompresor. Ada perusahaan datang panggil saya untuk cari ikan di luar kampung. Dia minimal 10, 15 itu dia kedalaman. Kalau biasa dari pagi itu 4 jam sampai siang. Istirahat setengah jam. Kemudian turun lagi 3 jam lagi. Kita tergantung dari hasil menyelamnya kan. Kalau dapat banyak berarti gajinya uangnya banyak, hasilnya 30 juta, 25 juta gitu. Sudah banyak yang nyelam kan, sudah jadi dorong sudah turun ke bawah lagi. Dia biasa ke 30, 40 dia ke bawah. Kakak bilang kalau menyelam kalau sudah terlalu dalam jangan terlalu banyak bergerak. Harus pelan-pelan. Karena orang tidak ada punya perhitungan, tidak tahu itu perhitungannya pakai kompresor itu harus kita punya posisi bagaimana. Karena biasa kalau turun, karena biasa kan perhitungannya saya kalau turun harus kaki duluan, turun begini. Karena biasa kalau kepala duluan baru cepat-cepat ke sana, itu biasa taman bilang, "Weh, tak putar, tak pusing dalam laut, pusing dalam laut." Saya bilang, itu. Karena biasa ada taman yang yang biasa kan ini dua anu kan, 2 dakor kan yang dipakai 2 orang. Biasa taman juga biasa karena saya perhatikan, saya bilang, kalau kamu seperti itu tidak lama kamu kerja, tidak lama kamu akan tidak bisa berjalan, bahaya itu. Sudah datang di rumah berarti ibu suruh timbang. Di laut saya bisnis lobster. Jadi untuk istri di rumah berarti urus kios, dagang. Jadi bagi tugas. Jadi untuk ibu punya saya tidak ganggu di darat, untuk saya punya berarti ibu tidak ganggu untuk di laut. Begitu.
Pak Arman mungkin masih mau pakai kompresor 10 tahun lagi, 20 tahun lagi atau gimana?
Masih. Kita ini pakai kompresor selagi fisik itu masih kuat, masih bisa nyelam. Ya nanti kalau sudah tua Insya Allah tinggal duduk. Masih muda begini berarti kasih sukses memang bisnis. Jadi di saat tua tinggal menikmati kesuksesan.
Alright guys, it is now 6:30 and it's our last evening here in Mbuang Mbuang. It has been fantastic. Time has flown by so fast. So tomorrow morning we're gonna depart from here at 6 o'clock and sail for another 20-25 kilometers out to a very, very, very small village, if you can call it that. And now it's makan time again. I feel like we just ate, but yeah, I did sleep for 3.5 hours this afternoon, so the day went by fast. But I think they're waiting for me now because it's dinner time, so makan. Our visit to Mbuang Mbuang had been fantastic, but the journey wasn't over yet. So stay tuned, because in the last episode of the Banggai series, we leave Mbuang Mbuang behind and set out to explore the most remote parts of the Banggai Islands. As we visit a floating village in the middle of the sea to learn about their unique way of life. We will explore an island so tiny that the only way we could find information about it was to go there ourselves.